A bear was promoted to corporal. That is not a joke. Second World War, Polish Army, a bear with a service number. In the next few minutes, how he ended up on an army payroll, what he did at the front, and what happened to him after. All of it documented. But the strange part isn't the bear. It's the men. Most of them had just walked out of Soviet labor camps with nothing left. And Wojtek had a habit that would cost him. I'll come back to it. You can't understand this story without knowing who these soldiers were. Early in the war, they were taken from their homes and deported east, held in Soviet labor camps, then released to fight. They walked for months to reach Iran. Families scattered, homes gone. They arrived with almost nothing. April the 8th, 1942. A road outside Hamadan in Iran. A Polish unit comes across a boy carrying a sack. Inside it is a brown bear cub. Hunters had shot his mother. The soldiers buy the cub for a few tins of food. They name him Wojtek. It means something close to Happy Warrior. For the first months, a civilian woman feeds him condensed milk from a bottle. In August, he is formally handed to the 22nd Artillery Supply Company with 2 soldiers assigned to him full-time. So this isn't one man keeping a pet. This is a unit making a decision. Men with nothing left found something on a road and put it on the books, and it was growing faster than any of them expected. Wojtek grows. He really grows. As an adult, he weighs close to 500 kilos and stands over 5'11". Look at that number. Roughly 6 grown soldiers put together. He wrestles the men and stops when he wins because hurting anyone was never the point. He works out how to turn the shower on himself, which drains the unit's water more than once. He drinks beer. And he doesn't smoke cigarettes. He eats them. But there's a condition. The cigarette has to be lit. He refuses an unlit one, which means the soldier has to strike the match first. That detail alone would carry a video. If this is the kind of history you want more of, subscribe. Every story here works the same way. It sounds invented. It isn't. The camp now has a soldier who drinks, wrestles, and eats lit cigarettes. And he has to get on a ship. 1944. The unit is being shipped to Italy. And here, they hit a wall. No pets on board. The rule is flat. Wojtek stays behind. So the officers go around it. If a pet can't board, then Wojtek will not be a pet. They enlist him. Private, paybook, service number. They fill out enlistment papers for a bear. They write down his rations. On paper, there is now a soldier. And soldiers board the ship. An entire army bureaucracy bends its own rulebook so nobody has to leave him on the dock. No one made them. They just weren't willing to hand him over. He boarded not as an exception, but as a soldier, and he was going to the bloodiest hill in Italy. Here's the part that makes this more than a mascot story, and the most argued over piece of all of it. I'll tell you what he did, and how much of it we can actually prove. May 1944. Monte Cassino, a German-held monastery on a hill, one of the bloodiest sieges of the Italian campaign. The Polish Corps is sent up that slope. The guns need shells without a break. The crates are heavy. Normally, a crate takes 4 men. Wojtek watches what the soldiers are doing, then he starts doing it. He takes a crate, carries it to the gun line, sets it down, walks back, and does it again. According to the men who were there, he never dropped one, and he is promoted. The bear, enlisted as a private, becomes a corporal. The 22nd Company changed its badge too, a bear standing upright, carrying an artillery shell. Still in use today, a unit put its own bear on its insignia. But this is where I have to stop and be honest with you. Nearly everything we have about Monte Cassino comes from the soldiers of that unit. Exactly when in the battle he carried shells, and how many, I don't know. The bear was real, the rank was real, the service number was real, the badge exists. The fine grain of that scene is memory, written down by people who loved him, and saying so doesn't make the story smaller. There's a harder side I won't skip either. This is a wild animal raised inside a war, handed beer and lit cigarettes by men who meant it kindly. Their devotion was genuine. Wojtek never got a say in any of it. A story about loyalty and about dependence. The bill arrived long after the war ended. The war ends. Most of these men can't go home, because home is now under Soviet control. The unit is resettled in Scotland. November the 15th, 1947. Wojtek is given to Edinburgh Zoo. And then this happens. His old comrades keep coming to see him. They toss cigarettes over the barrier. There are accounts of the bear standing up when someone called to him in Polish. He lived there 16 years. He died in December 1963, at 21. The cause was linked to damage in his esophagus, possibly from those wartime cigarettes. At the start, I told you about a habit. That's the habit. They offered him cigarettes to show they cared, and the same thing probably killed him. What kept him close to them is what finished him. In 2015, a bronze statue went up in the middle of Edinburgh. A Polish soldier walks beside him. There's a memorial at Monte Cassino as well. I said at the start, the bear isn't really the subject here. I still think that's true. A group of people who had lost everything picked up something small on a road and then rewrote army paperwork rather than let it go. If stories like this land with you the way they land with me, subscribe. And tell me, if you'd been on that dock, would you have followed the rule?